Okay, welcome to the training, everybody. So we are talking about more about this Wix affiliate site that I've been working on. This one right here. The niche, of course, is plantar warts, which is an exciting niche, I know, but it's a good one. And if you're not aware of why I chose that and why we're getting involved in this, you need to go check out the other trainings in the series. But in order not to recap and be too competitive or repetitive, I'm not going to give you too much background. I'm just going to assume you're going to check out those other trainings. What I will say is that I had kind of an off week this week. Busy working on other projects and other things. I didn't add any new content to this site. So I promise I'll make up for it. Hopefully next week I add more content. There are currently still 8 articles on the site. My target is still between 20 and 25 before I consider starting to do any more web design and market and add ads to the site and start posting links. I like to have a good base of content before I do any of that. We'll look at probably at that point we'll consider doing some Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we'll start using social media to promote it and see if we can't get some traffic running back to the site. All right. So that's the plan there. Let me tell you what we're going to do today. So one thing I've sort of just assumed as we've been having these trainings is I assume you know how to figure out what to write about and what to create content about. And I do have trainings on this topic, but today I'm going to do another one that goes over what I do to figure out how I'm going to create content, because that's the biggest issue for most of you guys who are building one of these sites. You're not sure exactly what to write about. You could write about what's on your mind, but rather I think it's smarter to write about what we know people are already looking for so we can satisfy those search queries and drive plenty of traffic to the site. That's going to be the goal. So here with my notepads that I'm going to bring up, I'm going to make a little list of things that I look at. 4 things in particular we'll focus on today, and we'll start there. Let me go ahead and write these down. All right, we'll call this content generation ideas. And I'm going to start with number 1, which is one of my favorites, keywordtool.io. Some of you guys may be aware of this one. It is absolutely one of my favorites because it's free. There's a paid version of it, but what we use it for, you don't have to pay anything to do what we need to do. If we're assuming here for just a second that my site is about plantar warts, which it is, I need to come up with what people are looking for in regards to that niche, so I know what to write about, what kind of questions people have, what kind of content people are looking to consume. The best way to do that is to use one of these reverse search type tools. So you're going to notice here, you've got these different tabs. You've got a Google tab, you've got a YouTube tab, Bing, Amazon, eBay, an App Store tab. We can use these different tabs to figure things out. So I'm going to start with Google, and I'm just going to type in my main niche. Okay, plantar warts, right? That's what this website's all about. And I'm going to do a search. And one thing you'll notice is it comes up here at the top with the results that you got from your search. It says 310 unique keywords or keyword phrases. And I can scroll down on the page and quickly see a list of these phrases, okay? Now what you're going to notice is over here at the right-hand side of the page, you'll see this. It says, do you need this information? Keyword Tool Pro provides search volume data for English keywords. Try it now. We do not need this for what we're trying to do here. So don't worry about signing up for that or creating a membership or whatever. All we need is this big list of keywords. This is our idea generator, okay? Now, the reason why keywordtool.io is showing us these keywords is these are real searches that are actually happening within Google. You'll notice, of course, before I did my keyword search for plantar warts, I made sure the Google tab up here was already selected. So I can look through this, and this would be my thoughts. I mean, I would see the top keyword, plantar warts causes, okay? Then you've got plantar warts, or I'm not sure how to say that. Some word are caused by, okay? Plantar warts on hands, plantar warts on feet, plantar warts on foot, plantar warts on toes. Let me ask you guys a question. If Google is saying that people are typing this in, and Google is also saying people are typing this in, and really each of these keyword phrases, what do I know, or what content can I create based on this keyword phrase? Okay, if somebody types in plantar warts causes, what does that do for me? What does that tell me about the people that are typing in that phrase? And imagine someone with me for just a second. They sit down at their computer, or they sit down and they pick up their phone and they type in plantar warts causes into Google. What could I guess about that person who's typing that in? Well, yeah, that's pretty straightforward, isn't it, Scott? They want to know what causes a plantar wart, right? But go with me a step further. Someone who types that in, why do you think they want to know about what causes a plantar wart? Oh yeah, they might have one, right? I'm trying to define this internet search, or this. I'm trying to sort of reconstruct this person in my mind, because if I can understand the person behind the search, I can create really great content to sort of accommodate what they're looking for. Yeah, Lori, they're probably someone that's suffering from them. And not only that, what else can we say about the person? Not only do they have them, they want to know why they have them, right? That's good information. So what would I do, knowing that people are typing in that phrase? I could create a really well done article that talks about why people get plantar warts. What are the causes? I could maybe talk about how to prevent them and what to do if you have them. Because I'm assuming that person who's reading my article, they probably got them, and I'll bet they're maybe curious about what they can do about them. That's a tremendous opportunity in that piece of content to make some soft recommendations for them as to how they can help themselves. I could offer them some kind of an ebook. Maybe there's a digital product I could promote. I could offer them an Amazon affiliate link that takes them to some kind of a wart solution, right? I could generate leads for a podiatrist by collecting information and having a podiatrist's office call them locally. Like, I could do a lot with that, but see, I don't know what kind of content to create unless I know the keywords first, and that's why we're starting here. Okay, so that one was a little easier, right? This one was kind of easy. What about this one? Plantar warts on feet. What do we know about this person? What kind of inferences can we make about this person based on that keyword search? Well, they probably have them on their feet, right? They either know somebody or they've got them themselves. Sure, could be an athlete. I mean, you know what's tough about this one is it's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, all we know is that they want to know about plantar warts on feet. They don't say specifically if they want to know causes or if they're looking for solutions. What if they're just looking for pictures, right? What if it's a college student looking for pictures to use in a report? It's really hard to develop a piece of content off of something so vague. All we can say really conclusively is they want to know a bit more about plantar warts. Plantar warts, by definition, are on your feet. So it's almost like trying to create content for just the word plant or the words planterworts. Like what is that person even looking for? Pictures, products, information, videos? We don't know. They're just looking for something related to it. So those are a little tougher. So when I'm looking through keywords like this, I really try to focus on and highlight the words that are more specific, like or the keyword phrases that are more specific. Planterworts, duct tape. Okay, that's a solution to sort of getting rid of planterworts. That person probably wants to know if the duct tape remedy is effective. Maybe we could provide videos of it. Maybe we could find images and see reviews. We could provide a piece of content for that. This one right here, planterwort spreading. This person likely wants to know if they spread. Maybe this person has them spreading themselves and they're wondering why. We could create a piece of content, do a little bit of research, and find out why they spread, how to prevent them from spreading, and what to do if you find them spreading. Now, this is us disseminating information to people, and with the hopes that it's valuable enough and it's good enough content that we can rank it well, attract a lot of visitors, get some interest in social media, and with all those visitors and that traffic to the page, we can monetize that in some way. We can either collect email addresses, we can put direct affiliate ads, link post, we could do some Google AdSense, we could do a lot of stuff. There are ways to make money on the internet if you have a piece of content that's getting traffic. That's the easy part. You want to know the tough part? The tough part is what we're talking about right now. Deciding what content to create and then the actual creation of the content. That's the tough part. The easy part comes later. All right? So this is a great tool. I really love this. Great way to generate ideas. And I just showed you guys this thing has over 300 keyword phrases. I'll bet we could come up with some pretty good ideas for content, right? Okay, so that's the first one, keywordtool.io. The second one, which we have talked about before, I really love Reddit. REDDIT, reddit.com. And on Reddit, you can do a search for your niche. If you're not familiar with Reddit, we do have trainings on it, but I'll just mention this. Right up here on Reddit, you can do a search, and you could look for planterwort and see if you can find some clubs or subreddits that talk about planterworts. And you could see information here, posts that have already been made about planterworts, okay? From this, you can see what people are talking about, questions they have, current content that's being talked about online in regards to planterworts. Reddit's just a really great place to get content ideas, okay? I'm not going to spend more time on that right now. We've got other more in-depth trainings for it, but suffice to say, that's a good place to look. How many of you guys who are here with me live right now know about Reddit and or use it on somewhat of a regular basis? Any of you? Yeah? Few of you know about it. Most of you don't even use it. I know that. Start using it. This is one of the most popular websites on the entire internet, and I mean it's a tremendous tool for marketing. You got to know Reddit if you're going to be an internet marketer. Okay. All right, this is a good one. This one's called Yahoo Answers. Okay, there's a site, and I'm just going to go there. I think it's Answers. Yep, answers.yahoo.com. Okay, this is a question and answer site that Yahoo is very popular for. People come to Yahoo Answers to simply just ask a question and then have other users answer that question. What's really neat about it is you can type in your main keyword phrase. Notice that I just typed that in, and notice what Yahoo did there for me. Look at all these auto-suggest questions that they just put out there. Let me read you a few. Why did my plantar warts turn black? How do I know if a plantar wart is going away or if medication is working? Can I cut them out? How can you tell when a plantar wart is gone? How do I get rid of a plantar warts between my toes? So on and so forth. Okay, these are real people out there on the internet that have a question about my niche, and they're typing in these questions, and what I can do is I can search those questions and see answers. The reason why this is valuable is if someone has a question and they're typing it into Yahoo Answers, which is just a tiny, tiny microcosm of the entire internet, how likely is it that there are many others that have those same questions that are typing them into Google, into YouTube, into Bing and Yahoo and other places? I'd say it's very likely, and this is a great way for you to see a question. And I sometimes will create a piece of content with the express purpose of just answering a question. So this question towards the bottom that says, do plantar warts go away on their own or not? I could have that as the title of my post or of my piece of content, and then I could really answer that in a lot of detail through a little bit of research, maybe through some YouTube videos and through my own writing. I could answer that and get that piece of content to rank well, so that the next time somebody goes into Google and does a search for do plantar warts go away on their own or not, guess whose piece of content is going to rank well? It's going to be mine, because I took the time to address something extremely specific. I heard somebody say recently that I really liked on a marketing channel that I watch on YouTube. They said that the biggest thing about marketing that a lot of people will get wrong is they immediately try to appeal to the masses. Right? They're thinking like Coke or Nike or Lululemon or some big brand, and they're trying to promote and market to the masses. And that's what those bigger, well-known brands do, don't they? Those are the kind of brands that are on Super Bowl commercials and run TV ads, and they're trying to show their brand to everybody. That's not what we're trying to do. If you'll market very specifically to a tiny little group, a demographic of people, and you'll answer a question that they have, and you'll create a piece of content for that, you will get traffic and interest in that content. If you try to go too broad and try to create content and create a business that appeals to the masses, you'll fail, because you don't have the money to back a marketing effort like that and the manpower to make it work. Being an internet entrepreneur is about doing the smaller pieces of content and having a really, really good niche when you're doing affiliate marketing. It makes the biggest difference in the world. So I really think Yahoo Answers could be a good resource for you guys. Again, that's answers.yahoo.com. One of the many places I go to get ideas. One of the other places that I think has a lot of value is just social media. So, for example, if we went to say, now any of these would work, but let's say you went to Twitter, and maybe I should list, some of the more prevalent ones that I would use. I'm just going to call this social media, but we'll say Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, etc. Okay, like sort of the major social networks. You can use hashtags. Now, how many of you guys use hashtags or understand what those are? You hear people talk about them, and they're used all the time. Hashtags are simply just a way to sort of categorize content that's out there in social media. So, for example, on Twitter here, if I type in hashtag plantar wart, okay, and do a search, I can then immediately filter all of Twitter's results and all of the Twitter commentary and tweets that are out there so that I can see other posts that have currently used the hashtag plantar wart, okay? Now, why would that be valuable to me? Well, people use social media like crazy, don't they? They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter. And social media is pretty famous for, if a piece of content is well liked, it often gets shared there on social media. And for you, it's an opportunity for you to go in and narrow down all the noise and the garbage that's out there, and just focus on your niche. And so you can search via these hashtags on a Twitter, on an Instagram, on a Facebook, and you can narrow down all that content to see people who are just talking about your niche. You can see what they're saying about it. You can see things that they're sharing about it. And that should give you some idea as to maybe what content you could create. You can look for people who have questions. You can look for viral posts, things that people are really excited about and talking about, liking and sharing a lot. You can look for newsworthy pieces, stuff that's pretty current. You've got current events that are shared on social media all the time, and if it's used with a hashtag, and it doesn't have to be, in my case, plant or wart. I could just do hashtag wart, or I can use a bunch of different hashtags to find different segments, because that's how they work. They're very specific. But if I do that, I can comb through the social media and come up with ideas for content, which would be great. So in this example, let's see. Let's just kind of filter through some of the content we see here. I'm seeing a lot of podiatrist posts, doctors. This one's from NY Foot Experts. Looks like they're giving a tip. They say avoid plantar wart this spring. Wear shoes, especially in public places. So they're offering a little bit of advice. This person's actually showing a picture of one. This is interesting. Check out this one right here. This looks like a mom who says, my little guy is a plantar wart. He refuses to let me put anything on it, so I get him while he's sleeping. And then it looks like they've got a picture right here. What could I do with something like that? What kind of content could I create? Well, I could create something after doing a little research on that to see what they did and others do. What do you do when your kids have a plantar wart and they don't like you to treat it? I'll bet you could get on social media and find other posts like this of parents doing different things to help their kids if they've got a plantar wart on their foot. There's a piece of content that you could create, right? So this is nice. You can see current things that are being said in your niche and about specific topics, and that's the power of a hashtag. But guys, you have to look at sort of the bigger picture here, right? Why are we talking about this? Well, I don't want you guys sitting at your computer trying to figure out content to come up with yourself. You can do that, and in some ways you can come up with good pieces of content just with your own brain power without doing research, but I'm going to suggest you do some research and you see what the masses are already looking for, and then write content to satisfy those queries, and that will direct you. That'll provide you with endless opportunities to create content. And even in a niche that's so specific as what we're talking about here in our examples on our Thursday night trainings, I'll never run out of ideas. Even just using these 4 sources, keywordtool.io, Reddit, social media, and then Yahoo Answers. A never-ending amount of content that can be created. And that's your weapon in affiliate marketing. That's what people are searching for, and most internet searches are happening in regards to looking for just information. They're not looking necessarily to buy a product. They're looking for information first, and then they look to buy. And if you can be the one that provides them with that information, you can direct where they go to buy, and then often take a commission off of that. And that's the whole point of this whole thing, okay? All right, guys, so use that. Please don't sit there and wonder what to write about. Use these tools that we shared today. I'm going to make sure by next week we've got more content on the site we're using as a case study here, and we're going to keep building that and showing you guys what you can do to do the same. All right? Okay. Thanks, guys, for being here. We will see you guys all next week.